tribe. You can imagine. How can people sit down and do a statistics of a man? Look at verse 4 again. It will take a meticulous person, somebody who is very, very careful, to break down the appearance of only one man. One, a champion, was only seen a small, innocent child. He saw the impossible if you fail. I was reading through a text. They were asking somebody. They said, you have attempted this thing several times and you have failed. Do you know what he said? He said, I didn't fail for those 10 times. I have only learned how to do it better 10 times. That's what he said. I have only learned how to do it better and how not to do it. So he has not failed. David just attempted into your house. Why can't you make a step? Don't be afraid of the fear that will never come. Some of us are afraid of failure. And at the end of the day, what happens if there is no failure? David was viewed by Eliab, his senior brother, as a careless, stupid young boy who wants to attempt the impossible. But Saul saw it that there is, little boy, let me tell you what you don't know. He started to tell you that, hey, this is not the right time to start the business. It is not the right time. You better look for another business. I tell you, try it. If others had tried that business and they have failed, it is not you. It's another person. Somebody was just doing, is marking his birthday of recent. And he had some packages to give to people. Then I start to think, all these things that were packed together, they were bought from people. They were bought from people. On Grandia, we counted, we have about 200 packs of variety, and they collapsed upon him. And do you know what the psalmist said in Psalm 48? Let's see verse 46. Psalm 46. When the psalmist is trying to tell us, in fact, I love the way David put it. For people who have not heard about God, for people, come and see what the Lord has done. I suspect this is one of the testimonies of David to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. And therefore, with that testimony, what is his advice? He said, be still and know that I am God. That is what God can do. He has done it in the past. And when David got to King Saul was hearing what he knows about Goliath. But David gave him his own personal experience. Do you know the problem of people today? We walk on other people's legs. We don't walk on our own legs. Let me tell you, if you try to walk on my legs, you can't maintain a balance as I will do. We live by other people's testimonies because we have not encountered God. And if you live on others' testimony, if you live on what others say about God, then you yourself have not known God. David here was trying to give feedback to the king. The same way I devoured it. Brothers and sisters, do we have testimonies of our past? Do we have story of sources of what God has done? I tell you, this is what you need in a time like this. Sometimes, God may not change the situation because of you. Why? Because He's trying to change your heart. Except you change your heart, you change your thinking, you change your orientation about a thing, God may not change your situation. He wants you to change, have a better look. When others see woe, when others are falling, God wants to see you being lifted. No wonder the Bible says, let the sick say, I am strong. This. I think God is waiting for you and I to have an impact. God is awaiting your comment. Stop making negative confession to support Satan. You are evangelist, and you must not use your word to promote negativity. You must not speak to support what you see around you, but instead, speak good to life of people. Let what comes out of you encourage people in a time like this. People need encouragement. People need to be lifted. People are passing through trauma. They are passing through hard time. People are passing through lack. A lot of people are sick in the heart. Some people are operating under the torture of fear. Let words of encouragement come from your mouth in a time like this. This is not a time to discuss politics. Government is not doing this way. It's not is your concern. Pray for the government. Corona this, we have about 90 this day, tomorrow 70. You don't have anything to do with that. God is awaiting you. For 40 days, God waited for King Saul and his people to act. When they were not acting, he has to raise an innocent, weak, young boy, David. Will you stand it if you are replaced? I'm sure you can withstand it. God is waiting. When God wants to do a thing, what he does is that he creates a space for himself that no other person can fill. So don't be surprised if they say Corona-19 does not have a cure. It has a cure, but God has not placed that cure into the hand of anybody. As many people that have undergone treatment and come out, they will tell you it's a matter of trial and error. Nobody has a perfect healing to it. Why? Because God wants to do a thing. He will not put that secret into the hand of anybody except to his servant. So God himself now is challenge. The solution to it lies in your hand, lies in my hand. In a time like this, what is our conscious effort to make the will of the Father come to pass? What is our conscious effort to make God feel that he has children on this earth? God remembered David right away from his father's farm. He brought him to where he is needed. Despite all discouragement, are our mouth shut to minister life to the life of people? Are we afraid to launch out as Christians, as people who carry power, as people who is residents of the Spirit of God? Goliath is there, making his brag for nobody to confront him. I imagine the shame that has brought to King Saul. I imagine the shame that is brought to the 3 elderly brothers of David. I imagine the shame that has brought even to the children of Israel. When God is acting like this, know for sure that he's waiting for you. He's waiting for I. Everything in life, everything, I mean everything, that you are trusting God for, they are everything stated in the. It's a way of putting one to reproach when you cannot talk. Your not having enough money may not be able to make you talk. You have preached that Jesus Christ is good. He can heal. But the Yoruba has a way. You that wants to give clothes to a person, let's see the one you are wearing. Yes. It's simply because you did not show it. That's why people cannot see it. So this morning, Jesus Christ is calling you and is telling you that you should be calm. In the face of crisis like this, you should be calm. In a time of provocation, in a situation when there is insecurity all over, you hear of armed robbers, you hear of kidnappers, you hear of this and that. What the Lord is saying is that be, and to round off this morning, we are going to pray. And we start from our hymn we sang this morning. Hymn 33. Hymn 33. This is the promise of God for us. And I believe it's going to that come to heart when you are passing through hard time. Saul suggests